I'm Elise from Enliven Outdoor Adventures, and I'm really glad you've joined our community. So as a thank you, I wanted to show you a bit of a workshop on what you might like to pack for a multi-day hike. So this is a bit of an example. It's always dependent on your weather conditions and how long you're going for as to exactly what and how much you'll pack. But this is a bit of an introduction overview, and it gives you a bit of an example as I'm here in beautiful Tasmania off for a multi-day hike myself. So from the beginning, we need to start with a pack. So I've got a 70-litre Osprey pack. I really like it because it has lots of pockets, but as it isn't waterproof, you need to make sure you have a pack liner, which is waterproof. And under here, I've got a pack cover, which is also waterproof, that goes on the outside. So that double layering, so that if I have to get my pack in a creek or a river, everything inside will stay dry. Importantly, when we're hiking, we need water. So I'm carrying a 3-litre bladder. Some people don't like bladders because of the risk of it leaking and popping, so I definitely always have a backup water bottle as well. And even though we're going to be in a really remote area with crystal clear water, we're going to bring our water filter and bring tablets as well as a backup, because there's definitely nothing worse than getting sick on a trip from bad water. So you can't always see viruses and bacteria, so even if the water looks clean, it might not be safe. So bring it just a small filter or water tablets to make sure you've got safe drinking water, because that's number one for your survival, is making sure you've got good, clean water. Second, moving along to shelter and my sleep system. So for shelter, we've got a tent here, really nice lightweight tent. So this is the inner. Separately, I've packed the outer and the pegs. And this tent is really cool because it uses hiking poles as the poles. So if you can find a tent that uses hiking poles rather than having to pack separate poles, it's going to save you a lot of weight in your pack and give you some extra space too. So once you've sorted out your shelter, then your sleep system. So for my sleep system, I've actually packed a foam roll mat, because this acts as a chair. You can sit on it, you can lie on it, you can have a lunch picnic on it. In a first aid scenario, you can use it as a base for a stretcher. And because it's this insulating foam, it's going to keep you warm off the ground, as the ground is a really quick way to lose body temperature. So this I'm going to have under my sleeping mattress. It's a bit bougie, and I'll use it as a seat pad for cooking. Second, my actual mattress is this insulated Cedar Summit mattress. It's got a really handy bag to inflate, amazing insulation, and it's quite thick, so it's going to keep me nice and comfortable and warm as well. My sleeping bag. So in here I've actually packed my bag as well as a silk liner. Now a silk liner is great because it adds some extra temperature to your sleeping bag. So if you have a bag that's only rated to 0 degrees, sometimes silk liners can be good enough to add an extra 10 degrees to that. So that means that my sleep system, I could now tolerate a comfort level of -10. In there I've also got my pillow. What I didn't mention, the silk liner is really good for keeping your sleeping bag clean as well, because sleeping bags are worth a lot of money. They're quite difficult to clean if they're made out of down. So having the silk liner in means that you can easily wash that, and it keeps your sleeping bag nice and clean. So my sleeping bag, silk liner and pillow are all in here. So that's my shelter and sleep system. Moving along, we need food. So I think the best part about hiking is having delicious food in beautiful places. So I'm really lucky that Radix has come on board now. So if you're interested in trying some of Radix Nutrition's dehydrated food, they're lightweight, super easy. You just add hot water, and they're packed with nutrition. So not only are you going to be getting enough macronutrients, your protein, your fats, your carbohydrates, they also specify what micronutrients you're getting. And these are all plant-based meals, heaps of different veggies in there. So you're going to make sure that you're getting all those little elements that you might not have otherwise if you were just eating quite simple hiking food. So it's basically like getting all your 5 fruit and veg just through having dehydrated food, which is awesome. So if you're interested in learning more about Radix, let me know, because I have got a discount code for you all. And I'm really grateful to have them supporting Enliven. So I've gone for Radix dinners, got a couple of extra ones, some other outdoor companies that do dehydrated food too. It just saves so much space and time and effort and weight when you can have a dehydrated meal, freeze-dried, rather than carrying all the veggies you'd need to cook that. So that's my dinners. For lunches, I've got some Vita Wheats and added in some Metwurst, but you can just have vegetarian if you wanted. Good fats and cheese, cucumber. And then here I've got my hot drinks, and I've got some snacks. So plenty of food to keep me going for heaps of days here. So once you've got your bag, your water, your shelter, your food, we're looking at our clothing, obviously. So in here I've got believe it or not, enough clothes to hike in, sleep in, and separately in a red bag I've got some emergency layers. This is everything I'm going to need to grab if I'm getting cold. It's got my down jacket, my beanie, my gloves, in case of getting hypothermia after a day of getting sweaty and in the wind and the cold. But all the rest of my clothes are in here, so some shorts, some hiking shirts, some hiking tights and pants. Woolen socks are amazing. They don't stink. I've even got merino underwear, so you can wear them again and again, and they are really good at being antibacterial, antimicrobial, all those good things. And they're quick dry and they keep you warm when they're wet, so that's a great option. Is find merino layers if you can, or synthetics, because they can quick dry. But I like merino in that it doesn't stink as much as plastic synthetic clothing does. So that's my clothes, extra warm layers that I have accessible when I'm walking. And then other personal stuff, I've got my hiking towel, travel towel, toiletries here. Go for nice, lightweight, small things. I love the Soul Sister zinc, love some No Pong, bamboo toothbrush, nice and light, and lip balm, sunscreen lip balm, bits and pieces like that. My stove system here, really like that it packs all down into this pot. So you've got your stove, got the gas canister, the pot acts as my bowl, spoons all in there. Separately, I have got a cup. Not a lot of lightweight hikers do this, but I quite like having my keep cup on the track. Stores all the tea inside there, so it's nice and handy. And a spare gas canister. I love these smaller sizes because it's only going to weigh 100 grams and you can just pack it in. It weighs nothing, doesn't take up much space. But this is still going to give me another 24 boils, so well worth having along. So that's my whole cooking system, which is awesome. And then a toilet kit. So it's really important when you're out in the bush, if there's not long drops, or even if there is, carrying your own toilet paper is a must. It's in a dry bag because there's nothing worse than wet toilet paper. It doesn't do anything. Trowel in there, because if we're caught out without access to long drops in toilets, you can dig yourself your own hole, and sanitizer as well. So that's my toileting kit. And then a few accessories and some technology, so some more important than others. Really important when you're hiking to have some of these devices, like my torch, as well as the spare batteries. So if you're caught out in the dark, you can still hike at night. This storm whistle is amazing, good for just like getting the attention of your group, but in an emergency, it's really good for calling out for help. Multi-tool is awesome for all sorts of things. You never know when you might need it. It's got everything from scissors and a knife to bottle openers, screwdrivers. So that can come in handy for cutting rope and all sorts of things like that. And it acts as my lunchtime knife. I use an old school watch because I really like keeping track of the time and my pace using a watch. And my Garmin often runs out of battery, so I prefer to use the old watch. And then some fun accessories. Well, my solar charger here charges up from the sun, which is great, so I can recharge my phone. Some headphones for a bit of entertainment. Camera, also mostly entertainment. This is my wallet, so I've got in there card, cash, license, and my Medicare card too, just in case. So if you did have to get rescued, at least you've got that identification on you. And here I've got journal, awesome just for keeping track of your adventures, but paper and pen can be very helpful in terms of if you're lost, you can take notes down, you can leave notes for people. In a first aid situation, you can be noting down what you've done to record everything too. So paper and pen, always helpful. Some of these things that I have in my hip pocket, really accessible, is the lip balm that I showed you earlier. Insect repellent, electrolyte, sunscreen, and hand sani, so they're always there handy. And then also at the top of my pack is going to be the first aid kit. So everything you're going to need when out in the wilderness. You have to be self-sufficient when you're away from emergency services. So there's everything in here from burn gel through to multiple snake bandages, triangular bandages, wound cleaning, blister repair kit, splinter probes, all sorts of things, as well as a book on what to do with it all, and your EPIRB. So this personal PLB is registered with the trip that we're doing. It means that the friends that we've got registered on there will get notified by text, and it can contact emergency services when you pull the trigger. So taking that at the top of my pack as well. Then what's going to be on me? So my hiking clothes that I'll pick out of this bag in the morning, but also at the top of my pack. It's very temperamental down in southwest Tasmania. So even if you're in South Australia, most people go hiking in winter, which means you can get showers. So it's really handy to have your waterproof layers at the top of your pack. Especially when you sweat, you can get quite cold when the wind blows on you. So having your rain jacket, rain pants accessible means if you've stopped and you've been sweaty and the wind picks up, it acts as a windbreak and keeps you warm. Really helpful too when you get into camp, just to be able to whip them out and put some layers on. And of course, if the showers come over, you're going to be protected. Keep your core warm. So as well as my waterproof layers, I always wear my hat, rain, hail or shine. I can use it in the sun, but also protects me from the rain, and I can cinch it right up over my face. My polarized sunglasses that wrap around. My hiking boots, something nice and solid with high ankle support. Gaiters to get me through long grass, mud, sand, and preventing snake bites to ankles. My hiking poles, which I can't live without anymore, and that are also going to keep the tent up. And of course, the map and guidebook are going to be in this waterproof case on me as well. So it's just a bit of a rough overview on what you might take on a multi-day hike. I hope that helps, and I hope that you can soon figure out your own system for a pack, water, shelter, food, clothing, cooking system, personal accessories and safety devices for your own next hiking adventure. Looking forward to seeing you at an Enliven outdoor adventure sometime soon. Thanks.